Okay, good morning. My dog finally just laid down. She's being crazy. She's like pacing around behind me and just circling and doing all this stuff. And it's like, what the heck is she doing? Do I need to let her out before I get started? I didn't want to have to get up and come back and all that. So, good morning. Happy Wednesday morning. Probably the last conscious coffee for this week until Saturday. Just a note on the front side there. Tomorrow and Friday, I'm not going to be able to do conscious coffee, so I will be back Saturday morning with conscious coffee after this, and then Sunday as well. I was sitting here and I was thinking about different things and a relationship coming up in my mind around different. Hold on, my phone's a little. There we go. I feel like I'm sitting like this, like on edge. Maybe my equilibrium's off. No, it's clearly the phone is not balanced, but oh well. Such is life. Life is not about balance. Life is about harmony, right? See, Addison's on. Good morning, Addison. But I was sitting here and I was thinking about different relationships and different things, and it just kind of kept coming through to me that one of the best things I could probably talk about, because I tend to deal a lot with people going through relationship changes at this time of the year. So 'tis the season to say goodbye to your lover, right? That tends to be what a running theme is that I see in a lot of relationships around in the holidays. And the holidays bring that up because we end up having so much. This is like a squirrel moment for me. I'm like, oh look, little Christmas tree hook thing. We bring up so much stress in the holidays, and there's just a lot extra pressure on us, a lot more going on. So we're a lot more edgy. We see each other's faults a lot easier. Things just aren't as holly and jolly in the season as the Christmas songs claim for them to be. We miss our families if we don't have them around us. If we've been through breakups, we might be missing the other family members, other relationships and everything. There's so much change that happens in the holidays, and then we get re-greeted by it. It's like there's almost an emphasis put on it every single holiday season, especially at Christmas time, right? Especially at Christmas time. So I have glitter in my coffee. I bought a Martha Stewart tree, and it's a fake tree, and it's a Martha Stewart tree, and I fell in love with the one with all the glitter on it. So all the little ends back here, it's partially flocked, but it also has glitter on it. And so it's really, really pretty because it's got that extra little shimmer to it, but there's glitter everywhere. And somehow glitter got in my coffee this morning. So anyways, back to season and relationships. And I'm not drinking glitter. The whole thing that when I was talking to this person just yesterday, we were talking about the relationships, and one of the questions that came up on relationships was, well, why can't you just be with somebody for your entire life? And now they were referring to it as far as the relationship of, like that lover, that husband, that wife scenario. But sometimes we think that, we kind of understand with friendships that our friendships come and go, and that they do this. And some friendships last a lifetime, and we can pop back in and pick up where we left off. And others, when we have that relationship, it serves its purpose, its time. Something happens, it blows up, and we move on, right? So we get that there's seasons in friendship, but there's actually seasons in all relationship, including the relationship with our parents, the relationship with our children, the relationship with a spouse. It doesn't necessarily mean that we are changing anything. Like, we can never change who our parents are or who our kids are, right? We can change who our spouses, who our lovers are. We can change who our friends are. Some of those relationships require just severing it, just cutting it off. And that even means with our parents, our siblings, and our children sometimes. There are situations where things just have to be severed. It has to just come to a grand finale, and you've got to just let that shit go. That's really, really tough. It's really, really tough, but we get so attached to the way somebody makes us feel, to the way we want something to happen. We get attached to this picture, this idea, and we stop seeing the relationship, the person, and ourselves within the relationship because we're so focused on what we want to have versus what really is. And the truth of the matter is like I said, all relationship goes through seasons. Every relationship is a seasonal relationship. Some seasons never come back again. Other seasons revisit. And sometimes you do that right within the relationship. We'll just take like a love relationship, okay? So that romantic love, intimacy-based relationship with your husband, with your wife, with a lover, okay? With a longer term season. And within that relationship, let's say it is 5, 6, 10 years old, okay, and there's that, you're going to notice that there's these little seasons of dry spells, you could say, within there. There's going to be hot spells, there's going to be dry spells, there's going to be spells where there's a ton of emotion, there's a lot of chaos going on. It's like the flood has just come and just, like really is in there doing a whole bunch of work that way. When we get caught up on just what the season is offering us, that's where a lot of destruction can happen. So, like we get caught up in that flood time, right? The rainy season and all of it, and which is all the emotion and the chaos and the stuff, because what? Maybe somebody has a health issue going on. Maybe somebody lost their job. Maybe there's just a ton of financial pressure and there's just all this different stuff going on. And we get really, really caught up on that. And you have to look at it as though if you want to keep that relationship, if the person that is kind of the epicenter of that is going through it for the most part, and you're that support system for them, if they are there and they are doing their work, okay, and I do work like this, that means they are working on themselves. They're stepping out of being the victim. They're stepping out of their comfort zone. They're trying to expand. They're trying to grow. They're moving through. So if they're doing that, then that means that they are also expanding, right? They are still expanding their vessel, their person. Their being is still growing. They have not decided to set up shop in victimhood in this place of where the flood is, right? They're not trying to move into the flood. They're trying to learn how to swim in the flood. They're trying to learn how to build a boat so that they can sail the fuck out of the flood. Whatever that is, those moments you have to look at the relationship and you have to go, okay, this is really just a season within this relationship. And do I still love this person for how they're showing up in this moment? So let go of the attachment of what that picture might be and really come into the present moment and look at that relationship of, am I in love with the way this person is showing up? Am I in love with the way this person is, moving through their crap, moving through this? Can I support this? Can I move through this? The problem often comes that we get very caught on, I have to be with this person no matter what. I can't let this person go in the down times. I have to let them, right here, it's like I have to support them through this. And once I'm through this, because if you come back to the point of, I really don't love this person, I'm really not enjoying how this person's, showing up, they're not really trying to move through their stuff, they've set up camp right here, oh my God, we've been at this same story for the last 2 years, the last 3 years, maybe it's a midlife crisis. And I say this from a point of experience because I was married for over 20 years and I was the best excuse maker for my husband on the face of the planet. I had him in a midlife crisis for 15 out of 20 years. And I just was excuse. Oh, well, this is why this is happening. And this is why he can't get that going. And this is why he's acting like this. And this is why he's drinking so much. And this is why he can't, step forward and make moves. And this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And I made excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse and tried to hold it all together and here's the thing, not because I was madly, deeply in love with my husband anymore. I had actually, the love had worn out. The love had disappeared. It was disintegrated. It was traumatized. It was caught in a cave somewhere way back there in the distance from all the stuff that we had been through as a family and as a couple, and it had just worn me out. But I'm a very stubborn soul. And I had this picture of, I'm never getting divorced. I'm not going to be one. I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm not going to ever get divorced. I'm not going to put my children through that. Or at least I'm going to wait until my children, all 5 of them, at that point, all 5 of my kids are grown and out of the house. So at this point, I was looking at having like a 4-year-old, and I was thinking about like, I need to hang out for another 14 years. So you know what, I was actually contemplating a 35-year marriage, of which I would have spent, 30 of it really hardcore making excuses and trying to support a sinking ship. We do that in relationship. We do that because we don't want to be statistic, because we don't want to, we use our children as a reason. We say, I can't do it on my own. We say, well, what will my family think? What will her family think? What will our friends think? What will our children think? We get so caught up on what everybody else out here, outside of our circle, of just our heart space between us and the other person, this relationship between you and one other person. When you get caught up on everything else out here in this circle, all those places that can't really save you, all those places that at the end of the day are going to take care of themselves, and you've got to learn how to take care of yourself in that situation. And when you get caught up on that, you're taking yourself out of the present moment, out of the relationship. You're putting it out on what everybody else's judgments might potentially be. Has anybody's judgment of you ever made you happy? Ever made you successful? Ever make you fall more in love with somebody or something? Has it ever fixed a damn freaking thing? Other people's judgments never fix anything, okay? They never do. And when we get caught in other people's judgments, we definitely aren't fixing anything. The other reason why we tend to hang out and stick into that relationship, whether it is when it is negative like that for a long period of time. I'm not talking about these little moments of, oh, you lost your job, that's it, I'm out. No, I'm not saying, oh, you lost your job, I quit. Or, oh, you have a health issue, I quit. Oh, you're going through some emotional stuff, I quit. No, that's not the case. I'm talking about when it becomes a deep habit of, I'm setting up camp here and I'm going to just move into the poor me. I'm never getting out of it, never allowing it to happen. I'm just not going to move forward. I'm going to just and exist. I'm going to just exist, and you can carry the boat and you can do this. The other reason why we will hang out in those scenarios is because it's the statistic thing, but it's also that we have this long-term picture. We have this picture of what we believe relationships should be like. And I really am talking to the people out there who are, like more of a love-based relationship, that intimacy, that marriage, you could say. Whether you're actually paper married or not, it doesn't much matter. Living together, romantic, have kids, pay bills, own a home, okay? You get the picture. Been dating for a long period of time and things just are not moving, whatever it is, where one party is just hanging out in this negative zone, okay? And what we do is we tend to get stuck in that situation because we want this picture, and we believe that if we just write it out, that we can have that scenario over there. Things will change. And I can tell you from personal experience that that's a bunch of bull. And I've told many, eons ago, I remember my now ex-husband telling me, I'm the man that you married. How accurate of a statement that is, because he was. I was blind to it, but the truth is that we think that somebody is going to change. We believe that they can change, and people do change. They do change, but there are core elements to each of us that will always remain the same. And when we are not in love with those core elements, guess what? When we're not in love with those core elements, those are the elements of that person that will destroy the relationship, because we're going to get caught up on those things somewhere down the road, and we're going to want those, we're going to believe that those can change, and then when they don't change, that's exactly what digs the hole for us in all the issues. So, Michael says, yep, been there on both sides. I think we all have. I mean, I'm not poking at any one particular side or saying that men are responsible or women are responsible here. It definitely is a two-sided thing for sure. But there is a certain beauty in accepting that relationship in itself is seasonal, and it is our attachment, which is an ego-based thing that will cause more damage than anything to the relationship and to our lives and to our happiness. And at the end of everything, that's really what we're looking at here is individual happiness. And when we get caught up on, I need to make this happen because we think that that picture needs to happen or it needs to go a certain way, and we're going to just force it, we skip out on happiness. We lean completely into ego-based need, which is where our fear of loss, our fear of abandonment, our fear of, what's going to happen. I can't survive without this other person, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff steps in because we're so fear-focused. So we start to act out of fear instead of love. And when we start to act out of fear instead of love, the love just kind of dissipates. It just goes away. It's gone. It's poof, right? Because now we're just coming at it from, oh my gosh, I gotta do whatever. And this is where, all of a sudden you're trying to please at all costs. You're giving of yourself at all costs. You're willing to sacrifice your whole world, your well-being, your energy, your emotional being, mentally. You might find yourself eating different, drinking different, sleeping different, willing to, I moved so many times and I mean physically moved. We moved probably 35 times, I bet, in 17 years of marriage. And then we were pretty stable towards the end, but that was because I put my foot down and said, I'm not moving. But I bet we moved 30 or 35 times in 17 years with 5 kids and really, really struggling on stuff. And I look at that, and the reason why I moved and I was willing to move was because I was just trying to maintain a sinking ship. I was trying to maintain a sinking ship, and I did not want to give out on this picture that I had. And I actually believed that I could not survive outside of the relationship. And that is a really big, big issue that I do see with couples and with one party especially, is the belief that you cannot survive outside of the relationship. So you hold on until the very last second, until the season forces you to let go, right? So it's like all of a sudden it takes a tsunami to get you out of that picture. And that's sad, right? I mean, that's really, really sad, but that's the way it is for the majority of people. My message to you this morning, because it's just really got impressed on me yesterday. I was talking to a whole bunch of different people and just different stuff that came up. And even the night before, I was talking to a client the night before, and some of the things that was shared there. And I was just like this complete need-based love that I keep hearing. And I keep coming back to the statement of, you've got to get okay with it being a season. You have to just put it down. You have to just let go. And everybody's just like, but that's not, I have this gripping pain inside my chest. It's like somebody just kicked the air right out of me. I can't think. I can't sleep. I'm having trouble eating. I'm so caught up in fear over the loss, the this, the that. That's not love. That's not love. Love does not do that to you. Love is a blissful thing. That's why that love is love. Love does not make you feel a massive amount of pain. Ego makes you feel a massive amount of pain. Ego makes you believe that you are losing. Ego makes you feel like you have been abandoned. Ego says, oh my God, you're going to die when you have nothing in front of you. Are you staring a lion in the face? Are you standing in front of a fast moving train? Then stop fucking worrying about it. It's not going to kill you to let go. Quite often, the best thing you can do for a relationship is to let go, is to open up, and to allow it to transform how it needs to transform. That might mean that the relationship needs to go away for a couple years and then it comes back. That might mean that it just needs some time to just have some downtime. That might mean that you need to fully step away from the relationship. Or that might mean that you need to just hold space a little bit longer because that person, all of a sudden, because they're not having the air caught right out of them, right? So, and I use this statement a lot, like it really is like we will grip a hold of a relationship so tight out of the fear of losing it, out of the fear of losing what we want to have happen, our control of, I'm going to make this relationship work the way I want it to work because this is what I need. What I need. Every time you feel the word need come into you, realize that's ego. So I need this to happen. So I'm going to just hold on and I'm going to force this puppy to go this way. That right there, just imagine that you've got your hands around the other person's throat and you're just taking the life right out of them, because that's what you're doing in essence, is that you are just taking the life right out of that relationship. You're taking it right out because you're trying to control something instead of just letting it go. And the whole comment of, if it's meant to be, then it shall be, like a bird in the hand. And if you open up, yes, the possibility of the bird flying away is there. But if you hold on to that bird and because you don't want to let it go, you're going to crush the bird. You're going to kill the bird. So yeah, if you let go, the bird might fly away. But here's the beautiful thing. The bird might fly away, but it might come back. I have that happen a lot in my life. Like I will let go of a relationship and I go, I'm never going to see that person again. And then poof, like a year, 2 years, 6 months later, whatever the scenario is, all of a sudden somebody revisits my life and now the relationship has blossomed into something different, something far more beautiful. It's like reorchestrated itself to meet, guess what? Current vibration, which is the other topic of this, right? It's like vibing. Well, if you want to level up your life, if you want to increase your vibration, if you want to call in abundance, if you want to really get into that fuck yes manifestation level, then you have to realize that every single person that you are around is bringing a vibration, a frequency into your life. So are you vibing up? Are you vibing lateral? Or are you vibing down? What are you doing? What path is it? So you really, to have people that's similar to you, okay, that's good, right? That's nice and level. Those are birds together, flock together. And that's the thing that you need to realize, is that when you are with other people, that you are going to either be pulled down or you're going to be pulled up. It's your choice as to which direction you go. Do you go up or do you go down? Well, I like going up. So going up is definitely where you want to go. And just realize that in those relationships, that if you're around people that are constantly vibing down here, way down here, really, really low vibe people, they're negative, they refuse to get off their ass and go do anything, they're stuck in the past, they're not present, they don't have the drive for life, they're, like that. If you have enough of those in your life, we all have a couple of those in our life, right? But if you have enough of those in your life, you're going to get pulled down, and then all of a sudden you're going to have less energy, you're going to have less clarity, you're going to start making less money, you're going to have less emotional stability. There's going to be so many different things. You're going to start noticing it popping up, and you go, why is this happening? Like, why am I going from this awesome space that I was in? Why am I being pulled down? All of a sudden you get a demotion at work, you're not getting the hours that you thought, something's happening, right? Why is that? Look at the people that you're hanging around. Go there first, because it truly is probably that you have too many low vibing people in your life. You want to increase your vibe. You want to have more success, more abundance, more money, more love, more joy, more adventure, more this, more that, more. That fuck yes that I talk about, right? You want to just be flying up there with the eagles? Well, then you've got to actually climb to the top of the tree to get closer to the eagles, okay? The eagle's not going to come down to you. You've got to go up towards the eagle, which means that you've got to work your way up through the vibration of different people, which means seasons, relationship of the seasonal relationship of different people. And so realize that as you move up, there's going to be this season for that zone right there, that person, and they're going to bring you up a little bit. And then maybe that person hangs out in your life, but then you get drawn over here to this person. That's okay. Get drawn. If it's taking you in the direction that you want, if it's moving you upward, then allow yourself to get drawn upward and go towards that relationship, and let go and let every other relationship just kind of materialize the way it needs to, because it will transform. Some people are going to move out of your life. Some people are going to stay in your life. Some people are going to work at staying in your life because they go, I see where that person's going. I see where my friend, I see where my partner's going. I want to hang out with them. I really love this life. I want to move forward. Therefore, I'm going to do the work on myself and increase my vibration. Where others are just going to be like, that's stupid. I'm too happy over here just, not doing anything, not growing, not doing anything. So I'm going to just plant my ass on the couch and watch Netflix all day. And that's absolutely fine. And I use that scenario a lot. I watch Netflix too. But but it really is that whole pay attention to who you're around, because their vibration is going to tremendously affect your vibration. There's a statement in the self-growth world that you become like the people that you hang around the most. The 5 people that you hang around the most are the ones that are your center of influence, and those 5 people, that center of influence, is who you become like. So you want to know what your income bracket's going to be? Check out what your 5 people in your life, what their income bracket is, okay? And notice what that is, and you're going to actually become about half of what they make as a group. What the average is, the median, is about where you're going to come in. So you want to make $100,000 a year, you better be hanging out with people that are making $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 a year, okay? Because if you're hanging out with people, if your whole bracket of people's making $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, well, guess where your income's going? It's not going up, it's going to go down. Way down, okay? Because thoughts equal emotion brings us into action. And if we're hanging around people who do not understand the frequency concept and how everything is energy based, and you have an average and ordinary mindset, a lot of stinking thinking, as I've been saying, I've been quoting Art Williams left and right lately, and you have a lot of stinking thinking going on in your life, well, then all of a sudden that's going to be a habit, and it's going to bring down your vibration. And if you're vibing low, all the things that you want in that fuck yes life are not going to lower their vibration for you. You have to increase your vibration, so you have to make the changes that you need to make, and let some relationships just serve the season that they are in, let it be, and sometimes let them go. So there you go. There's my message of this morning. I hope that was helpful. I see a whole bunch of people on here. Everybody, if you got anything out of this, please hit the little share button. Help me get these conscious coffees out. I have decided to this year move conscious coffee over here to my personal profile, and now I'm sharing it over to my coaching page. I'm also sharing it on YouTube, but help me get it through Facebook a little bit more with your friends and everything. If there was anything on here that really connected to you that you thought was helpful, hit the little share button. Please make comments. Thank you for all the love, all the likes. Much appreciated. If you want to continue following me, read my articles or anything like that, and that you're not aware of, you can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com. And I will catch you guys Saturday morning, because tomorrow and Friday I'm not doing conscious coffee. But I will catch you guys Saturday morning with another conscious coffee. Love you, and see you then.